All right, let's get right into it. There is this hidden engine that's been running our entire economy for literally thousands of years. It's called arbitrage. And right now, AI is rewriting the rules of the game so fast, it's compressing decades of change into just a few months. And the craziest part, almost nobody is talking about how fundamental this shift really is. So, for as long as people have been trading stuff, the basic game has been exactly the same, right? You buy low over here, you sell high over there. That simple idea is arbitrage. But think about this. What used to move at the speed of, say, a camel caravan is now moving at the speed of an AI model. And well, that changes absolutely everything. So what is arbitrage, really? At its core, it's just about the gaps between what something costs to get and what someone else is willing to pay for it. And you got to understand, these gaps aren't bugs in the system. They are the system. They're the structure of the market. Entire industries, maybe even your own career, are built to live inside these little inefficiencies. And this really shows you the insane change in speed. Back in the day, something like the railroad would come along and close those economic gaps. But it took decades. People, industries, they had time to adjust. Now, AI is doing the exact same thing, but it's compressing that timeline into months, sometimes even weeks. The speed itself is a real disruption here. Okay, I know this all sounds a little theoretical, right? So let's make it super concrete. I want to tell you a true story about an AI bot on a prediction market called Polymarket. Because this story, it shows exactly how this works with, honestly, some scary clarity. So where does our story start? With this. $313. That's it. That's all the money that was used to get this AI trading bot started not too long ago. And in just 1 month, that little bot went to work. And I mean work. It executed over 6,600 trades. Just think about that. It was relentless, running 24/7, making moves while the rest of us were asleep. And its performance? It was just staggering. Get this, a 98% win rate. 98%. That's almost perfect execution on pretty much every single trade it made. And all of that led to this. In 1 month, that measly $300 turned into more than $414,000. I mean, what an insane return. So how on earth did it do it? Well, here's the kicker. The bot wasn't some kind of magical crystal ball. It wasn't predicting the future at all. Nope. It was doing something way simpler and, in a way, much, much more powerful. It all came down to one thing: speed. The bot was just faster. It saw that the price of certain crypto assets was changing on the big exchanges just a fraction of a second before the Polymarket platform could update its own odds. So it saw what was about to happen, bought the mispriced contract, and just did that over and over and over again. That's it. Pure, simple speed arbitrage. And that little bot story? It's the perfect illustration of what's happening everywhere. It's not just about crypto. It's a crystal clear, measurable example of a force that's reshaping every single industry. So let's break down the 5 big types of gaps that AI is starting to close at lightning speed. Okay, so we just saw a textbook example of a speed gap, right? But that's just one. There are also reasoning gaps. Think of AI reading an entire earnings report and understanding it faster than a whole team of analysts. Then you have fragmentation gaps, where AI connects all this information that's stuck in different silos. There are discipline gaps. That's our bot again, executing perfectly 24/7 with zero emotion. And then there's the really big one, the one that's changing everything: knowledge gaps. Look, for the last 30, maybe 40 years, the global economy has run on labor arbitrage. You know the drill. Find someone somewhere else who can do the same job for less money. Well, AI is flipping that on its head. Now we're in the age of intelligence arbitrage. It's not about the cost per hour anymore. It's about the value of the outcome you can get from the very best person armed with the very best tool. It's kind of like when CNC machines showed up in the 80s. Suddenly, one machine could do the work of 10 master machinists. And for a little while, the shops that had them, they basically printed money. But, and this is a really important but, there's a darker side to all of this. You might think, hey, everyone has access to these amazing tools, so it's a level playing field. But it's not. In fact, it's pretty much the exact opposite. Just take a look at the data from Polymarket. It's staggering. A full 95% of human traders lose money. They're basically just funding the 5% of super sophisticated players, and yeah, a lot of them are bots, who are scooping up all the profits. And this chart, this one is even more telling. The data shows that even when a human and a bot use the exact same strategy, the AI bots walk away with twice the profit. Why? It's simple. The bots don't get tired. They don't get greedy or scared. They don't miss a trade. They perfectly, flawlessly close that discipline gap we talked about. So you see, the real digital divide isn't about who has AI and who doesn't. Pretty much everyone has access now. The gap that really truly matters now is between the people who just kind of bolt AI onto their old existing process and the people who are brave enough to rebuild their entire process from the ground up around what AI can actually do. Okay, so what does this mean for you? How do you actually survive and maybe even thrive in this new world? Well, it all starts by taking a hard look at your own job or your own business. And I want to give you 3 really important questions you need to be asking yourself right now. First question, and you have to be brutally honest with yourself here. What is the inefficiency that your job or your business is built on? Think about it. The whole job of product manager was basically invented because it was inefficient for expensive engineers to sit in meetings all day. That was the gap they filled. You have to be able to name your gap before you can see it starting to close. Okay, second question. How fast can AI close that gap? Is it a structural gap or is it an informational one? See, a structural gap is something like the deep trust between a therapist and a client. That's slow to change. But an informational gap, that's something like doing basic legal research. And those gaps, AI is closing them incredibly, incredibly fast. And finally, question 3. And this is where the real opportunity is. Every single time AI closes one gap, it always creates a new one somewhere else, usually a little upstream. So the most important question you can ask is, what new gap does this new reality create? Because this is the key pattern you need to see. All the value is migrating upstream. It's moving away from the grunt work, the execution, the information gathering, and it's moving towards things that are harder to automate. Good judgment, unique taste, and real systems thinking. You know, when AI automates all the data pulling for a junior financial analyst, that analyst's job doesn't just vanish, it evolves. Their new job is to focus on interpreting that data and making smart, defensible recommendations. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. There is no new normal coming. There's no point where things are just going to settle down. We are now in a state of permanent rolling disruption. The gap that your career is built on today could be completely gone with the next big AI release. The only way to lose this game is to stand still. The winning move is to keep moving, to constantly be on the hunt for those durable structural gaps, and to build your future right there.